I've just realised something. The opening film of the Venice Film Festival, Parallel Mothers, you can take that title and apply it to Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Lost Daughter, and it would still work. And also vice versa. You can take the Lost Daughter title and put it on Parallel Mothers, and it works completely. The two titles are interchangeable. I know you're probably thinking, Luke, what does it matter? And it's like, it doesn't matter, but I just found that kind of neat. Hey guys, so continuing the Venice Film Festival coverage, today's movie I'm discussing is the directorial feature debut of actress turned director Maggie Gyllenhaal. It's called The Lost Daughter, and she has adapted the script herself from the novel of the same name by Elena Ferrante. But before we get started, if you guys are appreciating my Venice Film Festival coverage, please do help support my channel by hitting the subscribe button, also by hitting that like button, or by leaving me a comment in the comment section down below. It really does help. And if you want to follow me on any of my socials, Twitter, Instagram, all those links in that video description down below. Alright, that was my plight for you to help me out. Let's talk about The Lost Daughter. The film stars Olivia Colman as Leda Caruso, a British linguistics professor who takes a holiday to Greece, which takes a dark turn when Leda confronts the troubles of her past. I was so excited for this film. You guys know that I am a huge Olivia Colman stan, and when I heard that she was involved, I was like, yep, sign me up for this. But I also like seeing movies where notable actors are in the director's seat for the first time. And I have to say, for a first go, Maggie Gyllenhaal does a fantastic job of writing and directing The Lost Daughter. Most first-time directors probably would have gone with something more simple, but not Gyllenhaal. The Lost Daughter tackles some very demanding and complex themes. So I have to praise Gyllenhaal, not only for rising to the challenge, but for also smashing out of the park on her first ever go. The plot of The Lost Daughter is rather straightforward, but the subject matter of the film is quite intense because it's all about a woman who considers herself to be an unnatural mother. Her words, not mine. How do you explore something as personal, intimate, and sensitive as that? It turns out all you need is the right actress, or in this case, two actresses. The effectiveness of The Lost Daughter largely comes down to the incredibly human and vulnerable performances we get from Olivia Colman, who plays Leda, but also Jessie Buckley, who plays the younger version of Leda that we see in flashbacks. Everyone knows who Olivia Colman is, but Jessie Buckley, you might recognize her from I'm Thinking of Ending Things. Leda comes to Greece to unplug, but after she has an encounter with an American family on a beach, more specifically a young mother called Nina, played by Dakota Johnson, and her daughter, we see through flashbacks the parallels to Leda's own experiences as a mother. This is a character study which explores the complicatedness of what's expected of women, the supposed ingrained maternal instincts of motherhood, which every woman should apparently possess, and how by daring to do anything outside those socially established perimeters is kind of seen as culturally taboo. Leda herself refuses to be defined as just a mother. In her youth, when we see her raising two young daughters, we can see that she still has a hunger for academia, for travel, and for freedom, which all comes into play later in the story. There's an unexpected revelation which knocked me sideways. This is where the magic of this film really occurs, in how Colman and Buckley's performances entwine to paint a bigger picture of who Leda is. But by the time the credits roll, we really do feel like we know who she is. She is a fully rounded person. Leda is a fascinatingly compelling character to watch because she's prickly but kind. She's a bit socially awkward and standoffish, with the Americans honing in on her beach spot. Colman also manages to weave in a couple of those disarmingly adorable Olivia Colman tics into Leda. Whether it's watching her settle into her apartment when she lets out a little adorable giddy sigh of excitement, or when she just impulsively decides to flirt with the manager of the apartment that she's staying in. He's called Lyle, he's played by Ed Harris. She just waltzes up to him and says, "Bellissimo, Joe." And the way she walks off in embarrassment, I was laughing out loud in the cinema. I think I was the loudest one. Olivia Colman just knows how to make me laugh. And Buckley herself also knows how to channel some of that eccentric Olivia Colman joy. In any of the scenes where she gets excited, you can see Olivia Colman's "I just won an Oscar" face on hers. It's so good. As two people playing the same character, their performances harmonize perfectly. Also, there's great supporting performances from Ed Harris, Paul Mescal, Dakota Johnson, and Dagmara Domininka. Maggie Gyllenhaal also manages to craft an atmosphere that's both absorbing and unsettling. There's a plot thread, which I won't go into too much detail about because I don't want to spoil it for you, but it involves a doll, and the doll is like a metaphor for later's issues. But I swear to God, this plot thread involving the doll was giving me anxiety. It felt like a bomb was about to go off. I can't stress enough how much skill it requires as a director to pull off a tone as finely tuned as The Lost Daughter has. And on your first ever try, no less. It's actually kind of remarkable how Maggie Gyllenhaal accomplished this on her first ever go. I can't get over it. My only criticism of the film is that it did feel a little bit too long. Don't get me wrong, I was engaged all the way through, and that's thanks to the captivating performances from Colman and Buckley. But it did feel a little bit baggy, particularly towards the end of the film. So let's ask the three questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Yes, short answer, yes I would. Question number 2, do I recommend it for you guys? I recommend The Lost Daughter to anyone that appreciates a compelling character study which isn't afraid to address some difficult topics. It's not what I would classify as a light film, but it is extremely gripping. Also, if you're a fan of either Olivia Colman or Jessie Buckley, this film features some of the best work. Seriously impressive. So yes, I do recommend The Lost Daughter. And third question, what score do I give it out of 10? A commanding directorial debut from Maggie Gyllenhaal. I would be very keen to see what projects she does next if she wants to keep directing. But yes, this film also features 2 staggeringly good performances from Colman and Buckley. It's a little long, but I was bowled over by the risks that Gyllenhaal took and how she pulled them off so effortlessly. So I'm going to give The Lost Daughter a score of 8.5 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts on The Lost Daughter. Are you excited for this film? Have you seen it? Do you think Olivia Colman should be in the conversation for a Best Actress Oscar? Maybe Jessie Buckley as well. Whatever you have to say, let your voice be in that comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars-related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on any of my socials, all those links in that video description down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Lee Carefield, and I'll see you next time.